Revelation 3935. From the 13th of December 1946. No separation from God, only diminished power and light. All my living creations are products of my love and thus can never ever be relinquished by me, for what has emerged from my strength of love is also inseparable from me and everlasting. Thus I must remain united with it for all eternity. But since the created by me is endowed with free will, it can determine the closeness of the bond itself, that is, it can turn itself away from me, although this does not signify a separation from me, only reduced strength and reduced light. I myself never ever reject my creations, yet if they distance themselves from me in free will, they deprive themselves of strength and light by escaping my emanation of strength of love, by placing themselves outside the circle of love and thus being touched little or not at all by my emanation of strength. Nevertheless, they do not lose my love, for this applies to my living creations for all eternity. And my constant concern is to guide back the living creations which have distanced themselves from me, because they are in an unhappy state insofar as they are without light and strength. My constant concern is for the beings which are now without realization and use their will wrongly, and my goal is to change this will so that it turns to me again, so that it desires light and strength and becomes active in order to come into possession of light and strength from me. And thus my constant activity in the universe and in the spiritual kingdom is a constant labor of love for the created spiritual beings so that they will become blissfully happy. Love is my whole being, and therefore love also underlies everything my wisdom and my will brings to fruition through my strength. Love also underlies the great adversity on earth in the last time before the end, for this, too, is only a means of reclaiming the spiritual which has fallen away from me, which I do not want to abandon to eternal ruin. That is to let it sink again into a state for eternal times where it has to suffer unspeakably in bound will. My love for my creatures is boundless, yet my creatures themselves don't recognize it. They don't know about the depth of my love, otherwise they would give themselves to me unconditionally and achieve a high degree of bliss within a short time. But thus they often resist me for endlessly long times, they don't let themselves be drawn by my love but escape its warmth and therefore grow cold through their own fault. For their ignorance and lack of strength is the result of their resistance against me and their striving away from me. Yet as long as my creations are not united with me, I court their love and do not give it up. Until even the last of my creatures has found its way back to me, until everything is in the circuit of my love and is no longer able to detach itself from me for all eternity. Amen.